Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel once again, and it is all about fax over fundamentals. In this video today, we are going to learn uh, fax board considerations and phone lines, DID trunk, and T1T, like T1 trunk basically. Okay, and all those things we will learn step by step. It is very important. Basically, in nowadays, like advanced technology is available, but earlier fax board weren't used. So we should have some information about both the platform or whatever was earlier and what is now. So it is always good to have good idea. So the very first thing we will learn in this is fax board or fax boards. Okay, so I will take a highlighter here. Mm, highlighter. So guys, fax server uses fax boards. Basically, it is a hardware. Okay, and virtual fax boards, that is known as software. So if you are using virtually a virtual board, that will be called as software based. Okay, and hardware, that is your fax board. To send and receive faxes, the main function of fax board is to send and receive faxes. Very simple. And there are different models, and they come in many shapes and size. So every fax board has a separate size, separate shape. Okay, and there are multiple models available in the market to use. And let's talk about all those things. Some fax boards are quite large and may need separate server with space to accommodate it. In this situation, you must create what is called a remote dock transport. Okay, so some boards are very large in size, and for that you need one dedicated server to install and configure. Okay, and that is called remote dock transport. Okay guys, in my previous video you heard about this. Now it is very clear what is remote dock transport. So you are creating a separate board, you are installing a board on a separate server. Okay, apart from this, and you can see this is a board. Okay, fax board kind of things. So basically it comes in this size only, or like this only, or so you need to install it on server. This is the like I should say, this will be connected to your connector. It is a connector, will be connected to your computer or server. Okay, on motherboard. Apart from this process require you to run the fax server setup on the second separate server and choose the remote dock transport option. So if you are installing this card on a separate computer, then you will have to this will be called as a remote dock transport. Okay, option, you will have to select this one. We'll install later on. And during the install, the board drivers, dock transport module, and enterprise fax manager are installed. So these will be installed by default, okay, at the time of installation. And the other fax server service and software is not included. Thus, the setup of a remote dock transport server is very fast. So it will take only limited services, I should say, services or roles to be installed as a remote dock transport. All the roles and services will not be required to install for this, because it is going to be installed separately. So whatever is required to run this card or this board will be stored or will be installed on that particular server, that secondary server. I hope it is very clear. Okay guys, why we are using fax boards? To send and receive faxes, and it comes in different size. So sometimes we may need to use a separate server to install a fax board, and that will be called as remote dock transport. Okay guys, should not be any confusion, you should make a note. Okay, now let's move little further. So all fax boards have onboard processor and RAM to allow the offloading of tasks from the server's CPU. So for example, you have one server here. So apart from this server's RAM and memory, RAM and processor, this card will have its own RAM and processor to perform or allow the offloading of tasks from the server's CPU. So you should know this uh, minor information but very important information. Okay, let's move to the next one. So guys, here a small note. For historical reasons, you may hear the terms brook root. Okay, this is very popular. And cantata, icon, or Intel in reference to the fax board products that were at one time created by each of these manufacturers. So these all are manufacturers and they had created their boards. Okay, currently uh, Dialogic owns and manufactures the two fax boards line supported by fax over, that is known as Brookroot and Deva. So this Brookroot is very common, very common in use. Okay, I can show you this on my physical machine also. uh, Let me show you, let me log in. And I have logged in. Just in a minute I can access enterprise fax manager. I'm just giving you, real information. That is why I'm showing you whatever is best possible to discuss. So I'm just marking it to taskbar. So every time I do not need to go to that. And this is okay. It is connecting. Okay. Now if I go to this dock transport module, so I need to start all services, and we'll see brook root. So till the time, let me go a little further here. So guys, there are also certain considerations you need to take care at the time of setup of fax server. If you are purchasing boards and all, so you have to take care of certain uh, aspects. Okay, so to ensure that you request the board that best meets your organization needs. So if you are purchasing, you should have the clear idea about the board, what is required for your organization and which is required for your organization. Ask yourself the following questions. Very simple. Okay, so let's see whether it has come up or not. So now up, I'm going to property of this stock transport server. Okay, and I wanted to show you something here that is not available. Sync remote. Okay, so okay, that is not available. So let's see, configuring services. So guys, this is what I was talking about, Brookroot. Okay, I have installed this and I'm using these channels from here. Okay, I installed Brookroot, RightFax OEM license or service, and I'm using this. So we have, with this only my communication is happening, faxes are coming and going, and I will show you in my coming up videos how to set up it, okay, and how to configure it. So if you see this fax util, so you can see here a couple of faxes coming and going. Okay, so this is happening only because of that particular fax, okay, fax board basically. And this has been changed now. I mean, not totally, people are using fax over IP also. So it is again depend on the whatever is available in your organization, okay, and what kind of technology they are opting to use. Okay guys, let's see what are the questions you need to ask before you purchase any board. Okay, so the very first one, how many fax channels and what board model do you need? So how many fax channels you want? Okay, so if possible, this is the first question. If possible, Choose a fax board that either meets or exceeds the total number of channels required for your environment. In other words, do not order a 4 channel board if you determine that 24 channels are required. So for your requirement is for 24 channel, don't order 4 channel board, okay. You can do it like you can order for 28 board if possible, but not less than that, because you don't know what is happening in future, okay. So keep few channels as a buffer. That is my recommendation, okay guys. First thing, okay, for example, again I will show you this brook root. So if I go to this and this one, so you can see here, this is the brook root I have set up here. So you can see here number of SR140 channels, okay. So I can see I can add 120 channel, okay guys. So if I want to make it, I can make it 105 channels. So here I can see 105 channels. Just need to restart the service, it will restart. Okay, so it is done, it is attempting to restart, and now if I click on this, I can see 105 channels here. It should reflect here. If services is started running, yes. Oh, it got hanged. So RightFax Enterprise Manager, and it is in red, so we'll see it, okay. Once it is green, it will come. So this service is stopping. Once it is up, it will show you. So I'm just leaving it as it is, okay guys. And let's see the next consideration. Do you have an existing voice over IP solution? So if you have voice over solution, you may wish to consider using fax over IP. If you have taken voice over IP connection, then yes, you have the another option to use fax over IP address software versus a fax board solution. So you do not need a hardware fax board in that condition, okay guys. And it is simply a software versus a fax board solution. So if you are using physical board, if you use fax over IP with the help of voice over IP, in that condition it will be your software based setup, okay. You do not need to have boards. Now, do you have right server for the job? The next question. Make sure your server chases, okay, physical server, this is your physical server. So it should have a place, it should have a chassis to connect that card, okay. Where you plan to install the fax board is large enough to support the fax board you have chosen and has compatible motherboard slot. Both fax compatible boards compatible with fax server are available in PCI and PCIe as well as digital and analog uh, form. So this is the consideration you have to take care. You need to check whether you have slot or not to connect PCI slots and all. So it is stopped. Now let me start it. If it is not, then what I will do it, okay, running now. So it is running, then I should click here. It should not be, it should not be red, okay. So if I click here, you can see now like 1 to 7 8 channels are in both position, I mean both condition channel status, and I have not configured rest of 8 anything here, like what I should configure, and like how it should be both dialing or answering kind of thing. So we can do it later, no issues. I'm just showing you example, okay guys. Let's see the next one. If purchasing a new server or motherboard, it is wise to consider the following things, okay. Let's see the first thing what you have to consider if you are purchasing a server, new server and motherboard. The fax card must physically fit into the fax server, okay. So for example, this is your fax server, so that this card should physically fit into this, the first thing. And the next one, the expansion slot must be the correct voltage and speed. Yes, you have to worry about that. You need to know what is the voltage of that slot expansion slot, and voltage speed. The next thing, like check if it is possible 5.0 volt and 33 megahertz PCI slot are required for some legacy fax boards. So go with the specification of the server, motherboard, and PCI slots, and what and as well as a specification of the boards what you are purchasing. Okay, next thing, do you know what your telecommunication options are? Okay, so let me see here one more time. This service should run. Okay, this service is stopped now, so I'm just starting it one more time, and we'll come back starting it. Once it is started, if we click here, all the channels should reflect. So basically, yeah, it is coming. Okay, so this you can see, this one is in what should I say, reserve mode, I think. If I go to once again, okay, we'll see this later, no problem. So as of now we are discussing, do you know what your telecommunication options are? So guys, so far we have discussed about uh, what are the considerations we need to take care at the time of purchasing fax boards. Okay, and we are going step by step. So now let's see the next one. Do you know what your telecommunication options are? Yes, let's see. Determine what local communication options are available and which options will best meet your needs in critical is critical. So what is your requirement and what option is fulfilling it? If possible, base your decision on overall efficiency. So you should check the efficiency of that particular options you are opting to meet your needs. Okay, so for example, if you need 24 or more channels, it is more cost efficient and efficient from a performance perspective to implement a T1 line. Okay, a single line that supports 24 channels, and versus an analog implementation which in this example would require 24 individual lines. Okay, so let's see. Uh, so the situation is very simple. If you are purchasing a telephone communication or telecommunication, you should look at the efficiency, how it is fulfilling your requirement. So for example, you can take one T1 line which is giving you 24 channels. Okay, and that should be feasible for you. Okay, that should be the first choice. Okay, and versus you should not go for any analog implementation which in this example would require 24 lines. So for 24 channels you should not require 24 uh, lines. Okay, you should avoid that. That is the main concept of this. Do you know what your telecommunication options are? Okay guys, so let's see what we have here. So phone lines. Okay, now we'll understand about phone lines. Okay, so based on an analysis of both fax traffic and inbound routing, select the appropriate phone lines. Okay guys, so we have the very first one is loop start lines. What it is actually, what do you mean by loop start lines? Okay, and let's see. Loop start lines are standard analog phone lines and can be plugged directly into the fax board. And some of the features of loop start lines are, let's see what are the features. One is can send or receive faxes or one call at a time. So this is available with loop start lines. Okay guys, and it is an analog technology, analog phone lines. Okay, make a note. You should make a note. Let's see the next one, what we have in phone lines. So the next one is DID trunk. Okay, so a DID trunk is an analog incoming only line ordered from a phone company. Okay, so again it is an analog incoming only line, DID, and used for DID routing. Some of the features and consideration of DID trunk line. So if you are using DID trunk line, then you should have to look at certain considerations. So for example, a block of number is assigned to a trunk. How many numbers are assigned into a block? For example, this is a block and how many numbers are assigned, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 kind of things. Okay, so you need to check that. The next one is considering consider consider buying more numbers than you currently need on the assumption that you will grow into them. So very simple this thing, even I have spoken multiple time. Okay, and for example, uh, your requirement is 20, so take at least 24 or 28 or 30 kind of thing, because in future your business may grow and your requirement also grow. So in that condition you should not have anything to worry, simply you can use the available uh, number, okay, or ports or channel, whatever it is. Next one, must plan with the phone company for installation. So if you are taking the connection of DID trunk, then you should plan with the phone company for installation. You should call dedicated engineer, okay, and dedicated engineer, you should tell them to install properly so that there should not be any loose connection kind of things, okay, and everything should work perfectly. And consider purchasing overlapping trunks, so that if one of the number is dialed and the trunk is busy, the fax can be picked by another number or another trunk with an overlapping number. So you should look this possibility also, at this possibility also, okay. And now when you order DID from the company, okay, specify, tell them like what you want. Trunk type, what should be your trunk type, whether it is loop start, and what should be the service type, it should be wink, okay, and signaling should be uh, DTMF, okay, and digit should be 4 length kind of thing. So this is also available here. Let me show you services and talk transport. It got stopped, so let me just go to configure. I will reduce this port number, okay, I will keep 4 5 so it will work properly, because this is a lab environment. So you can see here DID setting, okay guys, DID setting you can see here, and if I click this or if I click this, you can see DTMF routing, okay, you can see here DTMF routing. So everything is coming into the picture. So it is depend on you, like what kind of technology you are using for communication, okay. Enable DTMF routing here for inbound routing, okay. You need to enable activate these channels. If you want to deactivate, you can deactivate from here, okay. And I will discuss more things later on, okay. As of now I'm just going with the basic idea, okay guys. And see, you can see here number of digit for routing I gave say 7, and I enabled on this, so it enabled for everything, okay. I do not need to change again and again. Now the next thing, let's see what I have captured in this video, that is T1 trunk. So guys, a T1 trunk is a dual pair cable, okay, and digital line capable of handling up to 24 simultaneous send and receive calls. So in this, for example, this is your T1 trunk, okay, T1 trunk, so sending and receiving, oh sorry, this is receiving and this is sending. So both is possible at a time simultaneously, it can do it, and it is capable of handling 24 simultaneous calls, okay, send and receive. So cost will be more here. Again, some of the feature and requirement of T1 trunk are, so here the cost will be a factor, okay guys. So let's see what we have. So for example, highlighter, some of the feature and requirement of T1 trunk are, so legacy Brook root TR114 fax board require a separate header card to interpret digital signal, and header cards are installed in the server then connected to fax board. So it is a like multi-board connection basically. Okay, for example, this is your one card and you need another header card. Okay guys, to interpret digital signals. And Brook Root TR1034 digital fax boards are single slot solution that do not require any separate header. So again, there are multiple varieties available. Okay, TR 1034. Let's see what is available with this. So I need to go configure service and Brook Root, this one. So it is SR140. Okay, SR140 in use rather than uh, TR1034 as of now. So here we do not need to have any other header card. So these are the consideration you need to look before you order anything, because unnecessary cost will occur. Okay, and that is not good thing. So next one is T1 becomes a cost-effective solution at approximately 8 ports. So once again, okay, T1 becomes a cost-effective solution at approximately 8 ports. And not all channels must be used for fax. Some may also be used for voice. And plan with the phone company for installation. Plan the installation with your company's telephony and PBX specialist. Okay. And the next one is ISDN. ISDN, that is Integrated Service Digital Network. So ISDN lines are digital and can send and receive calls. Some of the feature and requirement of ISDN are, so the very first one you can use like basic rate interface, that is also known as BRI. So what will happen in this? Two calls at once, usually delivered over a standard wire to set-in cable wire or set-in line. Set-in cable line. Okay. So what is happening here? Two calls at once, usually delivered over a standard two wire. So there will be used two wire set-in cable line. Okay. And if you are using PRI, so PRI is primary rate interface. So 23 call at once as per US. Okay, or in US, and 30 calls at once Europe. So for example, you have taken one server and one PRI connection. Okay, this is your PRI connection, PRI. So at a time you will get 23 calls. You can communicate with 23 people. For example, user 1, user 2, user 3, they can call at a time from this, okay, this side, this PRI connection. So generally people using this PRI connection only. I have worked in many domestic BPO, so we used to take PRI lines because we need to communicate, we need to speak with customers simultaneously, inbound call also and outbound call also. So in that scenario we used to take PRI connections. Okay guys, and you can cable, you can label it like this. And this is my alarm system, this is my TNI box, and this is my fax line. Okay, and this is what I just wanted to discuss in this video. And you can see this is office phone line and recording kind of thing. So you should label everything properly for the installation and maintenance also, because you don't know which cable is connected for what purpose and you are removing it, so that particular functionality will be down. Okay, so make sure you have named each and everything properly. And this is what I just wanted to discuss in this video guys. I tried my best of knowledge as of now. And here this video is over. So if you want to understand, to learn more further, I will talk about, like, what are the requirement to install fax server in my coming up video, how to install. So that all will be coming to you only if you subscribe channel and hit notification well as share, comment and like. So I'll meet you in next video. Till then, bye bye, have a nice time.